arrive in the outskirts of Cinderu, but once again the informant Sandalwood is nowhere to be found. You sense the hopes of your companions waning as you search through the area yields nothing. Something startles the little imp Tizo. Tizo seems to be crying out in surprise. He has spotted something or someone. A tall figure strides forward from the trees, making a sound like laughter. The imp charges towards him. Alright, Tizo, don't get yourself killed, buddy. And leaps right into the figure's arms. They embrace. I'm guessing this is Sandalwood, because he's like an ant. Sandalwood, just like a tree. Hail, Tizo, but you look famished. Here. The tall sap. Okay. So, and same difference. Produces something that the imp swallows immediately with great pleasure. The lone minstrel nods his head in affirmation. Everyone, I wish to introduce you to my client, Wolfred Sandalwood. It has been too long, Wolfred, sir. Too long indeed, Tariq. I trust your new companions bring some color to your days. They do, sir. I think that you shall find them worthy of the Nightwings. The sap looks upon a lot of you. You cannot sense his thoughts. We shall see. He turns to you. You must be the reader. I'm certain that we all appreciate your effort here, my boy. Though we shall manage on our own from here on out. You're welcome to continue on with us, of course, though you are free to go. I trust you have been adequately compensated for your time. Thanks as well for looking after all my books. Consider what to say to all of this. You have been assured your freedom. You categorically refuse to be cast aside so easily. Until when you're no longer wanted. This cannot be happening. To have come this far only to be brushed aside by some strange sap. Let's remain silent. You stare back at Wolfred, attempting to glean deeper insight into what drives him, though remain unable to sense anything further. Still, you refuse to budge at his behest. Hold on. Wolfred, sir, I'm Hedwin. My companions and I are the one who answers your call. We followed the signs you left for us. Now we're here thanks to you and also to this reader. Not just a reader, he is our friend, my friend. He's not disposable, we made him a promise, and our freedoms are now intertwined. Wolfred smirks at this. Freedom is not something to be traded or exchanged, my boy. I'd hope that you'd have come to grasp this much by now. He breathes a sigh. It seems we've started off on the wrong foot. It's not my wish to sour the occasion, for there's much to do. You have a rut you need to get to, do you not? I'll come along, though shall not interfere, for it seems you have a kinship with this reader of yours. Now then, Tariq. Aye, Wilfred, sir. Come, let's have a chat. Of course, sir. Wilfred strides towards the black wagon, which must have belonged to him. You sense many conflicting emotions among your companions. Wonder if you can just leave there and get like bad ending. Your wagon cuts through a clearing to arrive at the Glade of Lu, where the stars directed you. Wilfred nods his approval, but leaves everyone to their devices. The demon. Oh hey, you guys, you know, I guess I didn't get word out about this new franchise which we opened here just now, so give you a great deal, just tell your friends, okay? Oh, and hey there, Mr. Sandalwood. Good day to you as well, Ron. I mean, just always buy those. I guess I can sell that. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep saving up for the good expensive ones. Fucking Ron. As you approach Wolfred, you feel very much aware that you reside within his black wagon, rather than he in yours. He studies you in silence for a time, then... Tariq, if you have a moment. Hi, Wolfred, sir. What is it? This reader. You deem him worthy, by your estimation. The lone minstrel tilts his hat in your direction. If you wish my own estimation, Wolfred, sir, then I do. Of course, it is not entirely for me to say, but I have seen this reader integrating with the others well. I believe that his achievements are self-evident, having reached the Black Basin. Your instructions were deliberately difficult to follow, yet he and the others followed them. Indeed, your words make sense as ever, Tariq. And what does little Tizo think of him, I wonder? Aw, Tizo likes us. There you have it, sir. I see. He continues to examine you. High praise isn't oft spoken by those two, my boy. Nonetheless, I shall be watching you. Now pardon us, Tariq and I have matters to discuss. They leave without another word, although you think you notice the lone minstrel look your way over his shoulder. Alright, Emperor Mur. Scarcely could I recognize him when I at last found him. A half-starved animal, horns spouted from his head, a bestial mirror of his blackened reputation. And I, a man who conquered countries, feared my emperor then in such a way as I had never known. My charge had been to slay this man, but when I discovered him, he was already fighting for his life. The little imp, Habub, proved of little help against the Sisters of the Arch, whose entire lives were culminating in this instant. I was unable to watch, my heart ached with such pity for the man, and for the love I felt for him when I had served him, that I sprang to his defense. Let's go, I guess. You and your fellow exiles arrived in the sacred site called Glade of Blue, and now look to the stars in the sky to signal the beginning of the next raid. The woods about you bring a sense of tranquility you have not felt in some time, but then you notice one of the trees move. It shuffles towards you, and regards you with an exaggerated bow. Oh goodness. This music. The start of that music, like, instantly made me think of Portal. Well, goodness, by the roots of Luce Glorian. It would appear the rumors are correct, the Night Wings have returned. Oh, but where are my manners? One moment. Seb claws at his mask with his wispy fingers. Much better. What a handsome looking tree. H. Manly Tinderstoff is a sacred man who seems certain he will land a position of high standing once he is free. At your service, perhaps you've heard of me. My fellows and myself, you perhaps know us as the Chastity. We shall soon stand against you in the rights. For now, I am just whiling away the time, making small talk. Now then, as I introduce myself, your turns. To whom am I speaking? Then, in your mind's eye, you see Wolfred and hear his voice. Manly Tinderstoff is not to be trusted. Reveal neither yourselves to him nor to me. Reveal. But... Well... Beneath her mask, Jody stares back at him in silence. You suspect Wolfred's message may have reached every member of the group. Why now, how very rude indeed. Well, fine, ignore me, but do so at your peril. Anyhow, once this evening's rite commences, any moment now, then I'm afraid ignoring me won't be an option any longer. Oh, and I do believe the sky is beginning to show. We'll have to chat again some other time. Now come along, come along. Manly bows again and wanders off into a clearing as the stars begin to burn.
Once again,
Soundtrack.
the stars align
Too good.
themselves before you, reader. And here now, at the glade of Liu, I have to say, you've come so very far. But there are those, such as your adversaries called the Chastity, who have toiled for this too. They know that with their freedom comes great opportunity. It could be yours instead. Please show the Chastity that the Nightwings are superior.
I wonder, O honored Nightwings, how well do you know these woods? Why, these woods would strangle you, and I'm afraid I could do little to stop them. Even if I tried, you might do better to beware of them. Jodario continues to ignore him. He grows upset. Why, you insolent... There, fine. Let us begin the dance indeed. He shoves his mask back on in a huff. And allow me to thank you in advance for helping me return unto my proper station in the Commonwealth. Let's fuck this tree up. They have a harpy, they're cheating.
The rite shall begin forthwith.
Alright, I think we want Headwind.
Headwind should summon. Rudy.
And let's go with Gilman.
Sir Gilman.
Let's go for the
Very well.
the quickness strats. Glory is within our grasp. Would that this knight had hands with which to grasp it? Cause you're a worm. Are you quite ready finally, O Nightwings? May all of those masks of yours ensure no harm should come to any of your lovely countenances. Now come along, let's give the stars a show. What is this shit? May I present to you Humboldt Manley Jr., why he is every bit my equal and is poised to guarantee the Tinderstuff line shall have a bright, bright future. He goes on and on about his sapling for a while. We've got to shut him up already. Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Come on, let's get him. Now, isn't he just the most precious thing you've ever seen? The sapling is nothing but an extension of Manley. If he is banished, the sapling should cease to trouble you as well.
Manley and his offspring hold no small degree of influence within the Commonwealth, reader. There are many who would welcome his return, though none so much
Get you, nerd.
a favorable start.
Ho ho, what's this? It seems the woods themselves are closing in upon our little sorry. Oh, do be careful now, these grasping roots and vines. They may not hold you in such high esteem as I. He's cheating.
Your adversary Manley is
So fast. Oh shit.
Yet he longs now for the
Woo!
comfort of his
Oh, I missed.
Commonwealth
No, I missed the
estate.
dunk.
Perhaps such wealth ought to be reserved instead for you.
Oh, God, you put a flower there?
Beauteous!
Oh dear, the woods are closing in. Uncomfortably close at that. Whatever shall we do? Perhaps you just stand aside a while, we can put an end to that much sooner. Could you not? Bro. Easy. Say, have any of you noticed how it's feeling rather crowded in here? Almost as if the 100 Minds himself resents you being here. Yes, I rather think it's that. So cease with all your scurrying about with that damn orb and let me handle this.
Glory.
Speed strats are definitely the best strats. They do less damage, but like, it's so much easier to score with them. Alright, you Nightwings, I've had it up here with you, or perhaps I've simply had it up here with all these encroaching plants, these miserable things. Either way, I don't appreciate how you're ignoring me. Ah, fuck. Almost got to him in time.
Exactly by the book. Your victory's at hand.
He's so fast. How do you stop
The
that?
Nightwings prevail again. Their adversaries proved no match for them. The ceremony is complete.
We did it. One step closer, everyone. Yeah, that's how we do it, people. Well, my. Oh, worry not, Nightwings. I'm not angry with you, honestly. But I am very, very, very disappointed. I thought perhaps we had something going on here between us. You scratch my back, I scratch yours and all. Instead, however, you decide to spit in my face. Fine, we'll have to see where all your rudeness gets you. Now ta-ta.
Always is there greater knowledge to be gained.
I don't get what the inspiration is.
Until the stars
Do they get inspiration when they're not competing, I guess? That was well done, my boy. I'm beginning to see why your companions vouch for you. Don't let it go to your head, of course. After thwarting the chastity in a rather one-sided contest, you return to your wagon to consider your next move. An adequate performance back there. Adequate? Yes, adequate, for the next part of our plan. Go, have your reader there consult the stars and see where they take you next. I'll give you a hint, it's further north, it's going to be high up. Did this knight hear you say, high up? And it's going to be cold. We'll see. Come on, my friends. Let's have a look outside then. That rumor may or may not be true. I'm not really at liberty to talk about it. It's kind of a confidential thing, so I can't really say. Sorry. That plan Wilfred mentioned, I just want you to know, I don't know what he means. We're here because we're going to be free again. We won't be living out our days as exiles. That's the only plan as far as I'm concerned. But there's always a catch, right? We'll see what Wilfred has to say. Anyways, I'll leave you to it. No matter what, we're getting closer thanks to you. you, Star. So rainbowy. Doesn't look like there's any more north after this, so I'm not sure where we go next. So now you see it for yourself. You are summoned to the north, where looms Mount Elodil, a sacred mountain the rites were first conceived, and at the very top of it, the fall of Salim. That's the Emperor that's in the book. Yeah, I'll definitely see what I can do, you know. Gotta cut that off before it gets out of hand, Drago. You confirm these stars indicate this exactly. Fulford, sir, how did you know? Fulford smiles back at him, but you sense his thoughts as though he's directing them at you.
I too can read, my boy.
Oh, thanks for doing the voice acting for me. It's appreciated.
Forbidden though the words may be.
He turns back to Hedwyn.
Run el libro dardes.
Your reader skills, while rare, are not unique. But as I said, I'll let him do the job. I see that you have something special going here, which benefits the plan. It scares me that plan is capitalized. What plan? I thought this is about our freedom. Oh, fear not, my boy. It is. It is indeed. Plenty of time to tell you about it on the way. For now, however, you look like you can use some rest. For that matter, so can I, if you'll excuse me. So, this guy's totally gonna fuck us over. 100%. He's like sacrificing all of us for his freedom or some shit. You sense your companions are exhausted from recent travels. Given the road ahead, you agree it would be best to take a night to recover as much as possible. Nothing going on here. Onward. At dawn, Fulford is already up. He reveals to you a pathway through the woods into cold lands beyond, to the north, beyond which lies your next destination. Clear of the woods at last, arrive in lands grown cold in the shadow of Mount Elodil. You will have to make it all the way up to the top. In a moment of respite, Fulford calls everyone together to discuss matters pertaining to the rites and the plan which he alluded. You banded together with a common faith that freedom from downside is not impossible, am I correct? But let me ask you something. What does freedom even mean to you? He looks in your direction as he asks, defying you to answer. You cannot sense his own thoughts on the subject, and only know the truth of how you feel. Oh god, that's a lot of options. Let's go with achieving inner peace. You tell Wilfred that freedom is a state of mind. While easier said than done, if you can simply be yourself without concern, then you are free. He considers your response for a short while. If that is so, then the Commonwealth that I recall, the Commonwealth that sentenced us to rot, that's not a place that fosters freedom such as you describe. Admittedly, I haven't seen the Commonwealth in many, many years. However, judging by your presence here, I doubt it's changed all very much since then. Oh, you're all clean now, Sky? That's good. He then turns his attention to the whole group. Now let me tell you all what freedom means to me. Freedom means to live life without fear. Oh, so I guess I chose the wrong answer. Rip. To be able to indulge one's curiosities and passions, at least the ones that cause no harm to others, without the constant threat of judgment and reprisal. Freedom means not being made a criminal for what you know, or whom you love, or what you choose to think or not think. He looks outward towards the distant mountains.
Reluce travestarum.
Within the next few days, your time in exile could come to an end. You could see the Commonwealth once more,
Ceresam sublaritas.
and you would be exalted there, given the highest honor, the opposite of how you got here. But you would not be truly free, I think, at least. You would become so complicit to an ancient system that would deign to cast down others such as you. It is a system whose well-intentioned founding principles have long been lost, and the 8 scribes, if they are still out there, have made quite clear they shall not intervene firsthand. Thank you for the host, Drago.
Ederandas,
That is where you come in. He turns to you and everyone again, looking to each of you.
transitam librage.
What did you miss? I think you missed all of the last rite, which is basically this really snobby sap, aka Volford here, that you fought in the right, and he was all snooty and snobby and thought he was better than you. But then I went with speed strats and used Gilman and Rookie and just destroyed him, so. And if you missed this, this is Sandalwood. This is the guy who Hedwin and the Minstrel have been talking about. And now he's just been talking about whether or not, we actually want to go back to the Commonwealth or not. Long have I wished to gather such a group that together you might see that seeking freedom only for yourselves is too modest of a goal. You share a higher calling now.
Sefranum sancte grace.
The plan then is this. We free each other from the downside through the rights, then we meet up on the other side. We organize.
Vedere splare.
Each new moon at dusk, when we join together at the Spiral Sanctum, we need as many of us there as possible. My agents on the other side shall explain the rest. Oh, so he's planning some sort of coup or a revolt. Yeah, you're plotting a revolt.
Sirendare.
Just so, I am asking a lot. You do have other options. Deceit, however, is not one of them. The reader and myself, you know by now that we can see through it.
Preservare garis.
But you need not be a part of this, nor is it in my interest to coerce you. You may go your own way if you wish, live out your remaining days here, like so many others.
Tentasce verumet.
So if anyone among you prefers that, if you cannot see yourself continuing to strive together in the Commonwealth as you are doing here, then speak now. Volford pauses for a time, examining each member of the group. No one stirs.
Iradet.
Very good. Some of you consider yourself friends, some others not. But all of you are bound together through the rights, and are integral to our plan. Remember that.
Quare veribralias.
You seek true freedom, you will not find it waiting for you in the Commonwealth. But together, you can bring it about, both for yourself and others. That is my promise. He lets out a long breath.
Fare totus.
That's it. I ask you all to think on this. Let's reconvene along our journey to the summit. Wolford turns towards the mountain, leaving you to consider what he said, and plot the wagon's northward path. I'm still curious where this game is going. Like, I honestly have no idea how close to the end I actually am. I'm like
Pensarus te
6 or
venturas.
7 hours into this, and I feel like I could only be doing like the first quarter of the game still. I just have no idea. Beyond lines, Mount LDL, LODL. That's a mouthful. I suggest we make camp here at the base of the mountain, for we shall need our spirits and our strength to make the ascent. Discuss the plan. Oh, nice. So you can do Edwin's challenge.
Simte paroshen. Instru sanctis.
So it's actually not bound by level. It's just bound by certain story points that you can do their scribe.
Malucastes.
Oh, you must mean that nomad boy. So innocent, that one. I should have a lot of work to do with him. Then let us bring him forth. So soon headwinds appear in heat of the summons. Hey, my friend, what's going on? Gonna put you to work, boy. Hopefully this one's not as bullshit as the last one. Which I don't think is possible. Though I shouldn't say anything. The apparition Sandra unfastens her mask. Listen well, boy, you answer to me here. Understood. You are a fool. Don't talk back to me. Your reliance on your friends is such a burden upon them. Let us see what you can do without their aid. Save for that of your lovely reader there. Easy. I actually thought I was gonna mess that up there because I ran out of stamina to jump. Ah, fuck, you got me too. Ooh, that was a good jump. Get out of here, doggo. Jump. Fuck. Damn it. Trade it again. No, doggo. God damn it. Sniped. Oh, one crested trigger. Fuck. One crest is really good when it triggers. I got stuck. Fuck me. God damn, he did it again. I tried to jump it this time, but missed. Alright. I'm really starting to think this game would be better played on a controller, honestly. Because I have to get more and more precise and having a lot of trouble with it actually. I keep getting caught on stuff. And sniped again. Get out of here, doggo. None of that shit. God damn it. Yeah, it's so fucking relentless. What? Locked him. Alright, see you, Jago. Thanks for stepping in. Thanks for the host. Let me actually just try this match real quick with the controller and see how it goes. If it will let me mid. Without having to reset. Doesn't look like it will. Alright, fine. I'll maybe set that up for next time, because like the harder this game gets, I think it would feel better with a controller, honestly. Wait, no. No, Now it's not picking up my mouse. Or my controller. What the fuck? Oh, you can play with the side too. And then pass with left mouse. Jump is space. This actually might be better. Might take me a second to get used to it, but maybe in the long run. It's like... I think my controller being on is fucking this up. It's like it wants to recognize the controller, but also it's not letting me use the controller. There we go. It's gonna take a second to get used to this. AI uses Jody so well, I'm jealous. Or the large demon. How did I not hit him there? I don't understand. I jumped that, but okay. This already feels a little better, I just have to get used to it. I still think the controller might be the way to go. I was out of range of that, please. Really not try to get out of the way of that dash move. Oh, only one more. Okay. Juked. If you just juke them long enough, they seem to fuck up. It's when you kind of rush in and do some fancy stuff right away. Or the AI just kind of like says nope, fucks you over. Good to be back after all that. Say, what's that you have there? Bull's Bracer. Power cast. So that's the like the you have to time it right, which I'm not exactly sure the timing's on that still. That or the jump. You're supposed to be able to do something special with the jump too, but I don't know what they're talking about when they're talking about the flash. But we haven't needed it yet, so